I swear to you, I thought I was still half dreaming when I saw it. My phone lit up at 7:13 a.m., vibrating on the nightstand like it was possessed. I cracked one eye open, expecting spam notifications, or maybe Marisol sending me another meme about dating disasters. But no, this was worse. Way worse. Front and center on my feed, I was tagged in a wedding photo. Not just any photo either. There I was, tux crisp, tie straight, arm around a woman in a white dress whose face I'd never seen in my life. She was smiling like we'd just shared vows. And me, I looked happy. Like deliriously happy. I bolted upright in bed so fast I smacked my head on the wall. What the? No, 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 no. I zoomed in, hunting for a clue. Maybe my face was photoshopped. Maybe it was one of those creepy AI filters. But nope, my stupid cowlick was there. The scar above my eyebrow from when Derek and I tried parkour drunk in college. Right there. This was me. Then came the comments. Congrats, Ethan. Didn't know you were taken, man. She's gorgeous. Lucky guy. I wanted to throw up. I called the only person who wouldn't think I'd lost my mind. Marisol picked up on the second ring, voice groggy. Why are you calling before coffee? Someone die? Check Facebook. Now. Pause. Then a gasp. Oh my God. Ethan, who is she? That's the problem, I snapped. I don't know. There was silence. Then the sound of her rustling sheets. You look legit married. That's a professional photographer, not some drunk friend with an iPhone. Exactly. But I didn't get married. I'd remember getting married. Wouldn't I? Now, I ain't saying I'm the king of responsible decisions, but apparently 94% of people listening to stories like this don't hit subscribe. That's like showing up to a wedding, eating the cake, and leaving before the vows. Don't be that guest. Hit subscribe. It keeps the heartbreak real and the plot twists hotter than fresh coffee. Back to the nightmare. I scrolled down, palms sweaty. The post wasn't from me. It was from an account under the name Anya Petrova. Caption, Forever starts now. Just married cruise wedding. My chest tightened. I didn't know any Anya. I'd never even heard the name before. And yet there she was, in a lace gown, leaning into me like we'd been planning this forever. Notifications kept pouring in. Old co-workers, cousins, random high school friends, everyone congratulating me on tying the knot. I could almost feel the whispers forming in the background. Guess Ethan didn't want anyone at his wedding. Guess he eloped. My phone buzzed again. This time, a private message. From her. Husband, you forgot me already? I stared at the screen until my eyes burned. My throat went dry. Words lodged somewhere between rage and terror. I called Derek next. If anyone knew what kind of prank this was, it'd be him. He answered with that cocky laugh of his. Morning, Mr. Newlywed. Big day, huh? Cut the crap, Derek. Did you do this? He chuckled, like it was the funniest thing he'd heard all year. Relax, man. It's Vegas. Crazy things happen. Vegas? My head spun. I remembered the trip, the gambling, the drinking, and then nothing. Just black holes in my memory. Don't tell me you don't remember her, Derek teased. That's cold. I gripped the phone so hard it creaked. I don't remember marrying anyone, Derek. So either explain or... He cut me off with a whistle. Chill. You wanted to go wild. You did. Guess you just partied harder than you thought. Something in his tone made my stomach flip. He wasn't surprised. He wasn't confused. He was covering. I hung up on him before I said something I couldn't take back. For a long time, I just sat there in my apartment, staring at the walls. My coffee went cold, untouched. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Married? To a stranger? And the worst part? There was proof. A smiling photo, a wedding post, a message calling me husband. No hangover lasts 6 months. This wasn't a prank. It was something much, much darker. That's when the doorbell rang. A delivery guy stood there, holding a thick certified envelope with my name on it. The return label read, County Clerk's Office. The envelope sat in my lap like it was ticking. Certified, official, stamped with the county clerk's seal. My hands shook so badly I had to tear it open twice, paper ripping jagged. Inside, a marriage license. My name, her name, witness signatures, a date 6 months ago. Vegas. I blinked hard, but the words didn't change. It was all there in black and white. Legal. Binding. Like someone had stolen my life with a pen. I grabbed my jacket and bolted to Marisol's place. She didn't even flinch when I showed up unannounced. She just shoved a mug of coffee into my hands like she knew I was seconds from unraveling. Okay, she said, voice low, eyes sharp. Walk me through this. Everything you remember from that trip. I sank into her couch, staring at the steam rising from the mug. We flew out on a Friday. Derek was hyped, said we needed a boys' reset. We gambled. We drank. I remember shots. Too many. And then I stopped. A wall of static where my memory should have been. Marisol leaned forward. Then nothing? Nothing. I remember laughing with Derek at the bar. Then it's just gone, like someone blacked out the tape. She exhaled, shaking her head. People don't just Photoshop marriage certificates, Ethan. Someone wanted this to stick. I rubbed my temples. But who? And why me? Maybe because you're too trusting, she muttered. Then, softer. I hate to say this, but if Derek was with you that night, he knows more than he's saying. The words stung, mostly because I'd already thought the same thing. Derek had always been reckless, sure. But this? No. This was bigger. I pulled out my laptop. Marisol slid beside me, and we started digging. My hands were clammy as I logged into my bank. Credit card statements, flight confirmations, hotel charges. And there it was. 2 charges I didn't remember making. 1, Clark County Marriage Bureau, $77. 2, Chapel of the Roses, $250. I froze. That's the license. That's the wedding. Marisol covered her mouth with both hands. Ethan, this isn't a prank. This is fraud. Her words cracked something in me. My throat tightened, heart hammering. Fraud. Against me. The apartment felt suddenly too small, the air thick with betrayal. I whispered, almost to myself, how do you get married and not remember it? Marisol's eyes softened, but her voice stayed firm. Someone made sure you wouldn't. Her certainty sent a chill through me. That night I sat alone in my apartment, the city buzzing outside my window. I opened the wedding photo again, staring at her face. Anya. The stranger I was supposed to call my wife. She looked radiant, confident, like she knew every secret in the room. And me? I looked like a man in love, like someone who wanted to be there. But I wasn't. I shut the laptop hard, like I could erase it. But it was already in my bloodstream. The truth was out there, hiding in the missing hours of my life. And I wasn't stopping until I found it. My phone buzzed at 2:14 a.m., a new message. Unknown number. Just 2 words. See you. I don't scare easy, but that text, see you, sat in my chest like a nail. The next afternoon, I found myself standing outside a coffee shop in the West Loop, clutching my phone like a lifeline. Marisol had insisted on coming, but I told her no. If this goes sideways, I don't want you caught in it. Truth? I was terrified, but pride makes you do stupid things. And then she walked in. The woman from the wedding photo. White coat draped over her shoulders. Dark hair falling in perfect waves. Heels clicking like she owned the ground she walked on. Anya Petrova. My wife. She smiled when she saw me. Not shy, not nervous. like we were old lovers meeting after a long day apart. "Ethan," she said, her accent soft but sharp enough to cut. "You came." "I figured I should meet my wife," I shot back. Her lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smirk, wasn't quite kind. "We had a beautiful night. You don't remember?" The way she said it, it wasn't a question. It was a test. "I don't," I said flatly. "I don't remember marrying you. I don't remember you. Period." She leaned closer, eyes locking onto mine like she was looking for cracks. "Memory is tricky, but signatures..." She pulled a folded paper from her purse, slid it across the table. "Signatures are forever." It was the license. My name, my handwriting, except my gut clenched. It wasn't my signature. It was close. Too close. "Where did you get this?" I asked, voice low. "From the clerk, of course. We filed it together." Her tone was calm, almost playful, like she had all the time in the world. I wanted to flip the table, scream, demand answers. Instead, I took a long breath. "What do you want from me?" Anya's eyes softened, just for a second. "Only what's mine." Before I could ask more, she stood, tucking the paper neatly back into her bag. "We'll talk again soon." And just like that, she walked out, heels echoing, perfume trailing like smoke. I sat there, fists balled, heart racing, feeling like I'd just been cornered in a game I didn't know I was playing. Now, listen, you ever wake up tagged in a nightmare you didn't RSVP to? That's me right now. And apparently, 94% of folks who hear stories like this don't hit subscribe. That's like going to a wedding, grabbing a plate, and leaving before the vows. Don't be that guest. Hit subscribe. Keeps the chaos flowing and the heartbreak real. Back to the mess. That night, I met up with Marisol. I told her everything. Her eyes widened as I got to the part about the signature. "She's playing you," Marisol snapped. "None of this is real." "But it looks real. It feels real," I admitted, rubbing my temples. "That's the point." She jabbed a finger at me. "You've got to stop reacting like a victim and start digging like a detective." Her words stung, but she was right. Later, alone in my apartment, I stared at the license again, and that's when I saw it, the witness signature, scrawled across the bottom in messy handwriting I knew too well. Derek Lane. My best friend hadn't just been there. He'd signed off on the marriage. The name stared back at me like a knife. Derek Lane. My best friend. My brother in arms since college. The guy who bailed me out when I couldn't pay rent. The guy who held my hair back after too many tequila shots. The guy who swore we'd never let life turn us into those bitter old dudes. And now, apparently, the guy who'd signed off on my fake marriage. I confronted him the next evening at his bar. Neon lights flickered across his face as he poured a whiskey like nothing in the world was wrong. "Nice of you to stop by, groom of the year," he teased, sliding the glass toward me. I didn't touch it. "Cut the crap, Derek. Why is your name on my marriage certificate?" For the first time, his grin faltered. Just a flicker, but I saw it. Then he leaned on the counter, casual again. "Ethan, relax. You were wasted that night. You begged me to witness it. Said you wanted to do something insane for once in your life." Insane? Derek, I don't even know her. I woke up 6 months later, finding out I'm legally bound to a stranger. He chuckled, but it sounded forced. "Hey, don't blame me for you not remembering. That's on you, man." I studied him, his jaw tight, his eyes darting. He was lying. I didn't forget Derek. I was gone. Someone made sure of it. For the first time in years, the easy banter between us vanished. His smile hardened into something I didn't recognize. He leaned closer, lowering his voice. "Maybe you're just not cut out for Vegas, Ethan. Maybe you can't handle what you signed up for." I stood, anger buzzing under my skin. I didn't sign up for this. And if you're hiding something, he cut me off, raising his voice just enough to be heard over the music. Drop it. You don't want to know the truth. That line echoed in my head all night. When I told Marisol later, she didn't even hesitate. He's in on it. You know that, right? I rubbed my face, exhausted. Yeah, I just don't want to believe it. She gave me that look, the one that slices through denial. Sometimes the people we trust most are the ones who know exactly where to stick the knife. Her words gutted me because she was right. I replayed every memory with Derek. Road trips, late night talks, stupid inside jokes. I thought about the nights he crashed on my couch when his world fell apart, how I trusted him with things I hadn't told anyone, and now he was the one unraveling me. Just after midnight, my phone buzzed again. A text from Derek. Stop digging. Last warning. I couldn't sleep after Derek's text. Every time I closed my eyes, his words flashed in the dark. Stop digging. Last warning. Warnings only mean one thing. There's something worth hiding. So I did what any betrayed friend with a half-decent memory for bad passwords would do. I broke into his old laptop. It wasn't even hard. Derek had always been cocky enough to reuse the same password, Lucky 7, a gambler's joke. And just like the slots he loved, his luck finally ran out. Buried in his email drafts was a folder marked Vegas. My heart pounded as I clicked. And there it was. Emails between Derek and Anya. Dozens. Months of planning. They weren't just in contact. They were partners. She needed citizenship. He needed money. And me, I was the pawn. The idiot friend who trusted him enough to drink whatever was handed to me. I scrolled, bile rising in my throat. Derek's email, don't worry, he won't remember a thing once I'm done. Anya's reply, good, he looks believable enough. This will work. I slammed the laptop shut, heart racing so fast, it felt like I'd sprinted a mile. My chest ached. My hands shook. I whispered to the empty room, how could you, man? How could you do this to me? I grabbed my phone and called Marisol. She picked up groggy, but the second she heard my voice, she was awake. Ethan, what happened? I found emails. They planned it, Mari. Derek and Anya. Together. They drugged me. Silence. Then her sharp inhale. Oh my God. They used me. I wasn't a friend to him. I was a ticket. A signature. A paycheck. I broke then, the words tumbling out like glass. I trusted him with my whole life, and he sold it. Now listen, you ever lend your best friend $20 only to find out he stole your whole damn identity instead? That's betrayal with interest. And apparently, 95% of you listening to stories like this don't hit subscribe. That's like crashing a dinner party, eating the dessert, and ghosting before the dishes. Don't ghost me. Hit subscribe. Keeps the heartbreak hot and the plot twists sharper than knives. Back to the betrayal. When I finally opened the laptop again, I went deeper. Immigration forms. Forged signatures. My name, scribbled across legal documents I'd never seen. There was even a wire transfer receipt. Thousands of dollars. Paid to Derek. Labeled consulting fee. I wanted to scream, but all that came out was a whisper. He sold me. By the time the sun started bleeding through my blinds, I wasn't the same person anymore. The blind trust was gone. The easy loyalty, gone. Now, I wasn't just a victim. I was a man with evidence and a plan. My phone buzzed again. An email from Derek's account. No words in the body, just an attachment. I clicked, and there it was, a scan of my passport. The passport scan glowed on my laptop screen like a neon sign pointing straight at my worst nightmare. It wasn't just my name on marriage papers anymore. This was my identity. A passport, forged with a version of my signature so close it would fool anyone who wasn't me. For a long moment, I just sat there in the dark, staring at the glow. My stomach churned like I'd swallowed glass. It wasn't just betrayal. It was erasure. Derek wasn't just playing games with my trust. He was rewriting my existence. By the time I stormed into his bar the next night, my hands were trembling with rage. He was there, like always, polishing glasses behind the counter, laughing at something some regular had said. Business as usual. My life might have been crumbling, but Derek Lane, he still had his swagger. I walked right up and slammed the papers onto the bar. The sound made a couple heads turn. He looked down, then back up at me, cool as ever. "Ethan, you know we don't usually do homework on the bar top." "Cut the crap," I spat. "You drugged me. You set me up. You forged my signature. What the hell did I ever do to you?" For the first time, the smirk didn't come easy. It took him a second longer to force it onto his face. He leaned forward, voice low enough only I could hear. "Everything's a big word, man. Are you sure you want to know everything?" My jaw tightened. I want the truth. He dropped the rag, finally meeting my eyes head on. The charm was gone now, stripped away. His voice turned flat, sharp. "You were perfect for it. Single. Nobody checking up on you. Trusting to a fault. You've been walking around like life's not going to chew you up. Well, consider yourself chewed." My stomach dropped. His words hit harder than a punch. "You were my brother," I whispered, my throat raw. "We survived college together. I lent you rent money. Don't romanticize it," Derek cut me off, eyes flashing. "You were convenient. That's it. She needed a way in. I needed a payout. You were standing right there, all trusting and naive. So, yeah, I used you, and I'd do it again." I froze. Those words, "I'd do it again," they hollowed me out. My fists curled on the bar, knuckles white. "Do you even hear yourself? You destroyed my life for cash. For her." He shrugged, like I was overreacting. "Life's survival, Ethan. You think loyalty pays the bills? Grow up. Everybody sells out. I just picked the right buyer." I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. My chest felt like it was collapsing, grief and rage twisting into one sharp knot. Every memory of us, road trips, late night talks, stupid inside jokes, shattered in an instant. All those times I thought I'd chosen family, it turned out I'd chosen the snake in the grass. For a split second, I saw myself grabbing him by the throat, slamming his smug face into the bottles behind the bar. My body twitched with the urge to hit him, to make him feel just an ounce of the pain he'd poured into me. But then Marisol's voice echoed in my head. Sometimes their arrogance is the crack in the armor. So I didn't swing. I didn't scream. I did something worse. I smiled. Slow. Dangerous. The kind of smile that unnerves even the cockiest liar. "You think you've won," I said quietly, "but all you did was hand me everything I need to bury you." For the first time, Derek's smirk slipped. Just a flicker, a crack in the mask. But I saw it, and in that crack, I saw my way out. That night, I gathered every file, every forged signature, every damning email. I packaged it all into a neat little folder labeled Truth, and I sent it to a lawyer. Derek and Anya thought they'd written the ending for me. But for the first time in months, I realized something. The story was mine again. I hit send, heart pounding, and when I did, I swear I could almost hear Derek's empire cracking. When I hit send on that email, it felt like throwing a match into a room soaked in gasoline. The evidence was out of my hands now. Emails, forged documents, wire transfers, Derek's smug little confession spelled out in black and white. For the first time in months, I wasn't carrying it alone. 2 days later, my lawyer called. His tone was brisk, professional, but there was an edge of satisfaction in it. "Ethan, we've got them. The marriage license is fraudulent. The signatures don't match. The immigration paperwork, blatantly falsified. This won't hold up for either of them. I gripped the phone tighter. So what happens now? Now, they face consequences. Fraud charges for him, immigration hearings for her. You, he paused, voice softening. You get your life back. I didn't even realize I'd been holding my breath until my chest ached. Thank you, I whispered. But relief didn't come all at once. It trickled in slowly, like a faucet you're not sure you can trust to stay on. The news broke in small waves. First, whispers around town that Derek hadn't shown up for a shift at the bar. Then, the mugshot floating online. His smirk replaced by something hollow, something cornered. Fraud, forgery, conspiracy. Seeing him in that orange jumpsuit should have satisfied me. Instead, it gutted me all over again. That was my best friend. My brother. The guy who once swore he'd stand beside me at my real wedding someday. Now he was standing in front of a judge instead. And Anya? She showed up to her immigration hearing in a black suit, hair pulled back, expression still calm. Too calm. Like she thought she could charm her way out of it. But charm doesn't work on paper trails. When the forged documents were laid out in front of her, her silence cracked. For the first time, I saw panic in her eyes. It should have felt like justice, but what I felt instead was exhaustion. That night, I sat in my kitchen with Marisol. She poured 2 glasses of wine without asking, sliding one toward me. We didn't speak for a while. The hum of the fridge, the occasional clink of glass, the only sounds in the room. Finally, I pulled out the wedding photo one last time. The tux, the smile, the woman I didn't know holding me like she owned me. Trust, I said quietly, staring at the image, is the most expensive thing you can lose. Marisol studied me, her face soft but steady. She reached across the table, her hand warm on mine. Or rebuild, she said. Not all trust is gone. Just redirected. Her words landed harder than I expected. For months, I'd been drowning in betrayal. But here was someone still standing by me. Not for money, not for papers, not for convenience. Just for me. I laughed then. Bitter, broken, but lighter. You always know how to cut through the noise. That's why you keep me around, she teased, a smile tugging at her lips. For the first time in months, I smiled back. Not the forced grin from that fake wedding photo. A real one. Small, shaky, but real. Here's what I've learned. Betrayal doesn't just rip your heart out. It rebuilds you in ways you never asked for. Derek thought he'd stolen my life. But all he really did was burn down the illusions I'd been living in. Yeah, I lost a best friend. But I gained clarity. And clarity is a hell of a lot stronger than blind loyalty. So now I'm asking you, what would you have done in my shoes? Walk away quietly, pretend it never happened, or fight back, even if it meant destroying someone you once called family? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me your story. And if this one hits you anywhere deep, don't forget to subscribe. Because trust me, there are more twisted stories out there, and you don't want to miss the next one.